I hate feeling out of control more than I can express on this platform. You know, people probably follow my channel, and I don't know, if you followed me long enough, maybe you don't think this, but for people that haven't followed me for very long, and you know, you look at some of my videos, it may seem like, you know, just got this whole thing nailed. Like I've got following Jesus down. I've got it locked in. I can teach on it. I can speak on it eloquently. But the truth of the matter is that there are days like today where once again, I'm reminded that there is nothing in this life that we actually have any control of. And it makes me so angry I could put holes in walls if I thought it would make any difference. It's like we live in this world where everything is broken. All of the systems are broken. And the solution is to just not be in this world, right? Like I told my wife today that I'm either going into politics or I'm starting a commune, because I can't continue to deal with the stupidity of the way things are set up and how corrupt the way things are set up actually is. And the solution is to either get in the mix and actually fight to change it, or to abandon it entirely and start a commune and have completely different rules and just operate separately from this whole entire system. But the truth is that that's not the answer either, to be honest. The answer is infuriating, because I'm the kind of person, I want to go directly at the problem. When I look at a problem, I look at something that's corrupt, I look at something that's broken, I just want to go directly at it and take it down. But the real solution is people. The real solution is everyone coming to the knowledge of Christ, receiving the Holy Spirit, experiencing the love of God, and actually loving their neighbor as themselves. Because if everybody was loving their neighbor as themselves, we wouldn't have this disparity of rich and poor. We wouldn't have this disparity of systems that are based on credit that is so incredibly corrupt, because the credit card company gets to give you all of this money, they get paid back by the insurance company, but then they still get to pursue you to try and destroy your life. You know, and the worst part of it is that, you know, my family, thankfully, you know, we came up in a place where, you know, we were both high IQ individuals, both my wife and I, and my wife is I mean, literally almost genius level when it comes to, you know, system architecture. And so, you know, she really understands how to operate in these systems, and I come from a background of business, and so I understand it as well. And so we're able to navigate these things in a way that the average person would never be able to navigate it. The average person just has their life completely wrecked, and there's nothing they can do about it. And to try and come out from under it is just almost impossible. Like, y'all gotta understand, I've been on food stamps before, and I remember having the issue of you couldn't make enough money to actually survive and take care of your family while being honest about it and reporting your income, which is what you're required to do legally, because they would cut your food stamps based on the amount of money that you brought in that month. And they would basically, so the way it worked is when you reported the money that you took in that month, they took that money and projected it forward and called it income, and then reduced your food stamps accordingly until the following month. And you had to get through an entire month of not having that money to then report again and show that your income has reduced, when in reality your income never increased. You just had like one-off job, like you mowed a lawn and made like an extra $50 like that week. Right? And so as a result of that, you have to choose to either be dishonest in order to actually get out from under the system, or to stay within the system and then put your family at risk of actually being able to survive because you're stuck within not being able to make enough to get out from under it, but also it's like you can't make enough to get out, and you can't make enough to stay in because it's not enough to live on. And so you're you're basically trapped in a cycle of poverty forever, unless you're somebody that's like me, who's a super high income earner, where I was able to come out of it in one hit. Like I was able to get a job that, had a signing bonus, and my income was high enough that we were able to just come out of it within 30 days. But anybody else would be stuck in that situation almost in perpetuity. And don't get me wrong, I'm no saint here, right? I personally just don't like having my options limited, and I don't like feeling like my hands are tied and I can't go out and fight this stuff. And the reality is that I've thought seriously about just shutting my ministry down and just going back to work, because I'm so frustrated with the situation, and I don't want to have to rely on the Lord. I don't want to have to wait for him to come through to sort all of the things out that he's sorting out. And he is. Like, don't hear me wrong. Like, the Lord has provided for my family supernaturally. It doesn't even make sense, the stuff that the Lord has done in this season. And even now, like, I'm upset with myself because I feel ungrateful for being upset. But it's not because I'm ungrateful for what the Lord has done. It's because I don't like feeling like I have no control. And that's just me being super raw and honest here. And I do these sometimes, like these videos, I do these types of videos sometimes because I want you guys to see that it's not like everything is perfect and then you kind of skid a little bit. Sometimes it's polar. Like, there are days where I go from having absolute unmitigated confidence and certainty and peace in the Lord to days like today where I'm just so frustrated I want to rip doors off and kick holes in walls. But I just have to keep coming back to the solution. And the solution is teaching people to love God, to receive the Holy Spirit, to meet Christ, because when you have an encounter with Jesus Christ and you receive the Holy Spirit and his love is poured out in you, and you start to have love for one another, and we start to do what Jesus said, and we start to love one another, because that's how he said that the world would know that we are his disciples. It was not by how well we acted. It was not by our righteousness. It was by our love for one another that we will be known as his disciples. And this is the solution. The solution is to get more people to have an encounter with Jesus and to learn to prioritize loving one another, because that's how we fix the world. Shh.